let's get our Leatherman, cut open the seal, and take a look at the cards we'll be using tonight. Oh my. Read that if you're interested. We'll read it at the end, just in case you're curious. Interesting jokers. Lovely blue. Standard card with a nice touch. Lovely red, which is kind of hot. And I'm looking forward to this one, so let's put our Joker's promo and informational card back in the box. Shuffle up our interesting new deck, and let's get our night underway. I'm excited. And as we get into shuffling this, please get yourselves nice and comfy. So I've been thinking on my own today, and I was at the point thinking about our Solitaire video tonight on our journey to 1,000. And I came to the, not realization, but the feeling that we're actually going through much quicker than I thought. It feels like the 500 video was only like a couple weeks ago, but now I think it's just about a month. We're maintaining our pace, and I think our milestones are going to be coming quicker than we think, or at least feeling wise. Since we just finished the 525 special not too long ago, and now it feels like 550 is right at the door, and to me that's exciting. So that is our starting hand. Let's move over the 6 and begin with double 5s and double 7s. I don't know what triggered that thought, but I just came to that feeling, and it was exciting. Come on, give us something. I think a red 6. Oh wait, I am so stupid, my bad. I guess maybe, to me, these cards look a little bit like you're dreaming, which is actually kind of neat. But it does divert focus, at least for me, just a little bit. Excellent. Not excellent. Okay, let's hope we can get that red king or blue king. 2, 3, 3, 2. Another 6. And we have ourselves a king down, finally. Last night, after our last episode, I decided to watch a movie, and I was under the assumption that it was a zombie movie. 999s, 777s, and zombie movies are some of my favorite movies. But surprisingly, it was... I'll tell you the title, let me know if you've heard of it. I think it's supposed to be a somewhat popular movie, It's one of those apocalypse movies that focuses on 777s and 999s. The downfall of an economy. It's very interesting. I think it's been remade in other forms, but I guess the best way to describe it is the original Mad Max. So, if that's your thing, look it up. I would say more, but I'm not much to spoil movies. So, ooh, you know what? Let's just go the bigger stack. Why not? As we now erase our 999s and 777s. But we still have quite a bit of work to get through here. But there is a possibility of striking gold. It feels like. Anyway, back to that movie real quick. I was a little bit upset since I was expecting a zombie movie. Not the typical type of movie that I would watch, but not upset as we get our first fat stack of the night. Just like that. What are you thinking of this deck so far? I'm actually not certain at the moment. Perfect. Okay, that is a huge help for us. And so is that 8. Just missing our second fat stack, but we do have some healthy stacks. Building here. Let's move this king. Flip that. See the 5. Anyway, I was just a little bit upset at the fact the movie cost about $25. I'm not one to really spend money like that, and that's the only disappointing thing about it. If it were free, no issue, but I don't like streaming movies and stuff online, like, illegally. Duh. Oh, no way. No way. Let's see. Nowhere for that jack. Nowhere for that 6, and nowhere for that 10. Let's see how much we can build. I guess movies are those things for me where I'll go a little bit out of my comfort zone for whatever reason. Ooh, should we do the diamonds? Yeah, we have to do the diamonds, so let's not even think. These spades, and the hearts, the diamonds, and the clubs. And oh, wait a second. I was about to say, I think right there, we lost our chance, but I made a mistake there. Uh-oh, but it looks like that mistake. That's such a weird mistake. What the heck? What? It doesn't end up doing anything bad for us, if anything. It helped us out, but that is weird. Alright, I'll shut up. Next game. That is a very unusual mistake. Luckily, no issues come from it as a king, 2, and 8 were left unturned. My oh my. But to change the tone of that, what is something that you usually go a little bit out of your comfort zone of spending for? Movies, zombie movies specifically, and playing cards. But that's because it's fun having a new deck pretty much every night for us to get into. What else? I think just to be a little nerdy Dragon Ball stuff occasionally as well. Alright, let's get on to game number 2 after that little mistake. Starting with a 5, I think we started with the 5 last time too. Alright, let's talk about this deck real quick. I like it, but I think it's not the type of deck to have around when you're tired. If you're in a dimmish room where it's not so bright, and let's say like a late night with a friend playing some games to pass the time, I think this would be a better deck since it's a little bit different. Nice coloring. Interesting effect is we have the triple nines once again. Got it right there. Oh, I didn't let it go. I didn't let go yet. You saw that. And I think this is our third play, unfortunately. So no, that's not true. That's our third play, because we would have played that ace. This deck is confusing me. What the heck? And let's do this swiftly. I like the black background of the card. I like the rainbow type coloring. It's not great. It is pleasant. Pleasant. Nice effort on the cards. For me, the big negative factor is how it has a little bit of a glow in a negative way. I know they're trying to be aura fixated, but it doesn't really help the visuals of the card in most manners, or some manners I should say. So for that reason alone, that's a pretty heavy hit, in my opinion, because you don't usually play with a deck of cards in the dark. So it looks like this deck's gonna end up getting a 7.5 out of 10. Still not bad, but could have been better, as that is the end to this game, at least for a double check. And it looks like we're still alive, so let's keep going. By the way, second fat stack, if I did not say so already. And now it's time for our next double check, maybe. Same fat stack, so that doesn't matter too much. Wow. What the heck just happened here? I'm not upset, but that was a quick turnaround. But ultimately, my goodness, nothing came from it so far. No plays left on the field. Nowhere for that 8. Nowhere for that 10. And nowhere for that 9. On to game number 3. That is such a weird game. This deck is a little bit funky. Let's see the final 4. This time as we had a queen, 6, 2, and a 5. Nothing special. Casino shuffle time. This should actually look interesting. Thought it'd look a little bit better. Alright, game number 3. And you know what? For those of you still awake at this moment, and who are aware of the secret deck, the secret word or phrase tonight, just name a color, and I'll pick somebody to be added into the secret deck, maybe 2, but we'll see. Name a color, and you have yourself a potential chance of landing in the secret deck as we have double jacks to start. And here we go. Game number 3. Those double 9s are actually very pesky, since it would take the right cards for us to develop a play that we do not have at the moment. And there we go. For me, the colors are a little bit, I guess you could say, confusing. Definitely doesn't help that I'm already quite a bit tired looking at these tones. So all reds, we need a blue card to have a chance. And there we go. That is the end of game number 3. Very unusual games, it feels like, as there's nowhere for that 4, 7, queen, jack, king, or 7. On to game number 4. 9s are the cards of the night, seemingly, as we have left. Double 5s, double 8s, triple 5s, double 4s, double 3s, and double kings. Well, well, well. Looks like we're gonna need something special. place I get my deck of cards from is, I believe it's the $6,000 deck. If you are not like a signed up member, you can still get reward points, and those points would accumulate to, I think, like a point for every dollar. So if you have 6,000 points, you have spent $6,000. And if you are I think a VIP member or something, you get an extra bonus at certain caps. So I signed up once I wanted to get more decks for this channel, and just so you know, I have a lot of decks. I don't know how much I've spent, but triple nines, my goodness, you could probably figure it out. Anyway, I unlocked the reward I contacted the site owners, and they said there was no more in stock. There wasn't any more in stock. Oh my gosh, my English right now is terrible. Brain is very tired, or tired very, I should say. And I was kind of bummed out. Then I got an email back from them saying they searched their inventory and found one deck remaining in the back. And by deck, it is a 6-pack deck. And I haven't had an idea of what to do with it quite yet, because I want to do something special, but I don't know what exactly. So I'm trying to think on what to do there. I have a couple ideas I think I just thought of, but I don't know. It's just kind of crazy thinking about that. They're not really $6,000, but the only way to get them is to spend $6,000 or be a member that signed up. Anyway, it's just been hanging on the shelf to my right, and I've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. And what's a little bit interesting to me, or intriguing, is that they aren't the most elaborate designs by the appearance, and I have no idea what's inside. So it just gets that much more intriguing by not knowing, as that might be the end of this one, unless we get lucky. Oh my gosh, did we really uncover like all 5s and 4s? Nowhere for that king. Nowhere for that jack, and lastly, nowhere for that 7. Such an unusual night. Long games besides our last one. Lots of plays. Yet somehow missing that elusive win. As unturned, we had double 2s and double 3s. One more shuffle set on the night. Yeah, a lot of the times when I'm shuffling, I'm looking at the deck to my right. The deck set, it's in a jewel case with 6 distinct colors: a light blue, a lightish green, an orange-ish yellow, then an orange, maybe red. It's catching the light at a little bit of a weird angle, so I can't quite tell. A pink and a purple. I just want to open them up sometimes and just take a look, but I don't know. Let's set up our final game of the night. 28, 26, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is the best start of our night. Let's do this. Red queen, come on. Not a red jack, red queen. Double eights, double jacks, double threes. That's not too promising, but who knows? We'll have to see. As now, we actually still have double eights, threes, jacks, but we now have our red queen. And this might be the game. For those of you still awake, waiting to see if we get lucky, now is the time. As we have a king down to our left early, stacks developing, cards moving, with triple threes, lots of triplets on the night so far. Red 10. We have to wait for the red king just in case. A red king would be so much more valuable, and there's our red 10. And under this 9 we will see our red king. It was worth a shot. 6, or was it just under this card? No, it was worth a shot still. That jack doesn't matter if it's moved quite yet, so let's give it a second or two. Place down that 2, and interesting situation. Red king, come on. Okay, let's hope I remember this card correctly. Yes, I did. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. That is why I say oh my, because we just missed our chance at a king on our next turn. So now we must hope for that king to show up. Somewhere else is nowhere for that queen. 9, 7, or 5 we must build to stay alive. But how long can we keep this going? As there's no 4 of hearts. No 4. There is a 4 of diamonds, and we get at least one more fat stack on our night. A 10. And with that 10, we can play that 9. And we get one more play. Nowhere for that queen. That 4 goes over here. 5, no 5 of diamonds. And that is the card that we would need. Oh, wait a second. What am I saying? 6. Nope. Nowhere. ridiculousness right there. And we managed to get, I believe, our fourth fat stack of the night. My apologies for the crookedness, but who cares? We have ourselves, at least I think, a win to wrap up our night. We know that's a jack, and that, my friends, is the end of just a bizarre back and forth night of good games, coming up short and ultimately ending on a high note. So, let's stack this up, as these cards are still confusing me a bit. You know what? Let's drop this to a 7 out of 10. They did not get better. They got worse, but so what? Victory shuffle for the final time of the night, as we have all of our spades in order, ace to king, along with all of our clubs. Next, the hearts, followed by the diamonds. Let's shuffle this up and see how we do. I'll tell you right now, that was a little bit chunky. A little bit, I think a lot of it on second thought. And somehow we split all the reds. Ace 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, king. King, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4. So surprisingly, a very good victory shuffle. And that, my friend, is the end of our night. Very odd deck, and as promised, let's read the back of this card. Oh my. Aura, red aura, connected to the root chakra, energetic, and is that hairy? Okay. Orange aura, connected to the solar plexus chakra, cheery and confident. Green aura, connected to the heart chakra, love and compassionate. Pink, also connected to the heart, open and receptive. Blue, connected to the throat, insightful and powerful. Purple, connected to the third eye, intuitive and empathetic. White, connected to the crown, perfectionism and a connection to something larger than oneself. Black, not an actual color of the aura, but an indication of exhaustion or fatigue. Beginner's Guide to Reading Aura, reading an energy field aura. Stand about 10 feet from your subject. Background must be solidly white or black. Adjust the lighting. Not too bright, not too dull. Natural light is best. Focus on the subject's nose. Don't focus too hard. Relax your gaze so you can also focus on the peripheral view. You will begin to see a shadowy outline of the subject's body. Start looking at the shadow instead of focusing straight. Stay relaxed. Peripherally only observe the outline that is forming around the subject's body. Take your gaze up from the subject's nose to the forehead, but let the movement be gentle. This will give you a better view of the aura. Interesting. Interesting. You know what? What aura do you think you are? From those descriptions, take a quick pause And if you want, what aura do you think I am? And with that, that is the end of our night. My goodness, a long one, but a fun one. Please have yourself a relaxing remainder of your night. Many sweet dreams, and until we meet again, please stay safe.